All right, I am back. I got a spare rod I'm going to use until my other one is built. And I have a replacement phone. After 3 days of not having a phone in 2024, that was tough. But I'm back. This is a 7.6 RH Custom Inshore Mag. Still the same Saltex 2 3000 half-ounce Pro bucktail. 3-inch swimming mullet on a teaser. 5-inch jerk shad. I came back to this spot because Sandy Hook has beat my ass so bad. I'm gonna work this spot and I'm gonna head south from here, which I usually go north. So I'll work this. It is west wind today, low tide right now or soon. All right. Lost that one. So we'll probably fish slack low all the way up. This rod is nice. I use it a lot for like messing around with schoolie bass and stuff like that. It's good for whipping a little tin out if I'm looking for like albies or something like that, but it lacks the sensitivity that I like for these fluke. So hopefully I don't go missing a whole bunch today. I'm gonna work south from here, but I want to work this beach all the way up until like right over there, because the way that water's coming over that lip, if I can, hey, yo, there you go, buddy. I can't even tell. It feels like a good fish, but with this rod, I don't even know. It's all right. Not a bad one. Not bad. One of the main reasons I like using these pink and pearl swimming mullet, I believe they resemble a egg-bearing sand flea. They look like a sand flea with that rose sac on the bottom of them. A little bit big for it, but you know, underwater when it's going around, I believe that's why I'm successful with them, because the past several fish that I've gotten out of here, they've just been puking up sand fleas like crazy. I did have a kingfish spit up a sand eel the other day, but that hasn't been the norm yet. they're on sand fleas right now, so I just keep throwing these because I believe that I'm onto their main forage. So when you're fishing fluke and you go to set the hook, so I'm using this 1/2 ounce bucktail, so there's not a whole lot of weight at the end of it that you have to compete with, but you're gonna feel the bite. You'll feel the fish hit it, doot-doot, doot-doot, right? Real quick. You don't want to set the hook right then. You have to take the slack out of your line. You have to make sure that the fish has your bait, right? So what you do is, when you feel the bite, you're gonna reel it down and then set the hook. When you get your bites, you don't want to just crank on it. Usually by the time you reel your line down, let me pull it in. By the time you reel your line down, that'll give you that extra, it's just like just the right amount of time that you and the fish both need to set the hook properly. If you're casting something that's very far out, like you're really far away, you have like unavoidable slack in the line. Even though you maintain connection with your bait, the current might give it like a little sculpt or something like that. You can't really avoid it. But if you're really far out and you have all that, and you have like a heavier bait that you're using, you're gonna have to set the hook like a bit dramatically. You know, you have to do it kind of hard. But when you're in close, especially when you're in real close, you kind of just give it like a hard flick. Because if you go set the hook real hard when you're in close, that thing's going to come out of the water and hopefully not whip at you. Bite, reel it down, set the hook. Maintain contact, there's a bite, reel it down, set your hook. Man, this rod was a mistake today. This thing is like a brick. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. That might be a keeper. On the teaser too. Oh, if you don't have a good grip and you're working with a teaser there, just drop the fish, because that other hook is going to come down with force. You don't want that thing in your hand. Drop everything. You look like a dork, but there's not much you could do. I don't have an 18-inch mark on this rod. I got to measure him out. I just do this. Oh, he looks like he's gonna work. I always set the fish on top of the measuring tape because you're not allowed to measure over the top. You don't get a proper reading. So I set it at 0 and I lay the fish down and I come up here, make sure it's tight, and he is 18 inches. So he will keep. If you want the best meat possible, you just take a knife. You could go right in here or right underneath here and cut the gills. That'll bleed it out, and you won't, when you go to cut your fillets, you won't have any blood in it, and trust me, it's way better. It'll taste way better. Cut it, bleed it out directly to ice. I was thinking about doing a catch and cook because I do like to cook a lot. We could just do the very, very basics of catch and cook. And we could just fillet it, fry it up. Maybe I'll do that today. We'll see. I always fix this. It's got to look good. Got to have a good presentation, but as the gulps start getting a little bit older in the water and used up a little bit, they start getting raggedy. So you just got to just find a place to hook it. What am I doing here? I swapped out that gulp with the bad tail. I was wondering if it would have had any effect. I don't know, we'll see. That was the first one. Wow, he really messed me up. Look at that. A new gulp. That fish owes me 80 cents. Come on with the bugs too. There we go. Man, that was perfect. You can see I wasn't sure. I felt a bite, but I wasn't really sure. Give it a couple little tugs. Oh! It wasn't very big anyway. You can find water like this with a bar and a trough, beach lip. You could find this up and down the coastline. Pretty much every town that you go to is going to have several of these spots that you can fish. It's not like a spot burn, if anybody happens to know where I am right now. Like, yeah, there's a fair amount of fish in here, and I pulled some out and it's cool, but fluke don't stay. It's not like you're fishing a river where you're, you know, if you're on a dock in a river and you're right near the channel edge, that channel's going to be there next week, and those fish are probably going to be there. So you don't really want to like burn that spot up on social media. You know, you want to kind of, if you take pictures with your fish, you're always trying to like hide where you are. But with the beach, specifically like for fluke, Fluke aren't going to be here. Today is Thursday. I want to say by Saturday we have a south wind coming in. It's supposed to be here for like, I don't know, 7-10 days, something like that. It's supposed to blow south. So when that happens, the surf is going to change. It'll get bigger. The water temperature is going to drop with the south wind, with the upwelling. That's going to disrupt this fishing. It's going to change where they might go outside that bar. Who knows where they're going to go? I don't. But they probably won't be here. So I worry a lot less about spot burning with summertime fluking. It doesn't really matter. By the time somebody was to watch this video and get down here, probably not going to see the fishing that we're seeing right now. Same thing really with bass. I mean, people get all upset about spot burning with bass, but unless you're catching resident fish, I mean, bass are migratory. You're hoping you can get them while they run through. If you catch a good rock or something like that, like a nice place to fish, all right, maybe that would be a little bit of a spot burn, but this, just go out and fish. That's why I'm trying to fish new ground all the time, to just show that it doesn't matter where you live or where you're entering the beach at. If you just walk a little bit, eventually you're going to find a hole, or you're going to find a structure, or you're going to find something where you can catch the fish. They're everywhere. They're spread out throughout the shoreline. And it's not even August yet. August was really good last year, and it shuts down in September again. And that's when we switch over to bass. And we're hoping that some Spanish mackerel or false albacore in between, we can get on some of that. But this spot is really drying up. So I might burn up the rest of this camera battery and head south with it. Prove to myself that you never leave fish to find fish. I'll take a couple more casts right over here, and then that'll be it for me at this spot. Gotta wait for that wave. Bring it in nice. Man, it's tough with a beach break like that. I swapped camera batteries out, and I wasn't really filming very much because it gets kind of boring bringing in shorts all the time. I caught a couple more shorts. I caught that one. I just wanted to show you that you really got to time your waves when you're at this beach break, because that fish will get up on top of that wave, and as soon as it hits the sand, they nosedive into the sand, and that hook comes right out a lot of the times. Oop, right there, right at the end. He was right on the beach lip. All right, fella, Jesus. Thank you. You see, that's all old. This is all sand fleas. All their skeletons up on the beach. Maybe they shed or something during the full moon. Well, there's a lot of them around here. this current is going from right to left pretty hard. So I'm setting up over there, and by the time I'm done, it might be over here. So if I keep pulling that through real hard, it's just gonna stay up real high. It's not gonna stay down low where I want it to. So I'm gonna work it real slow and let the current do some of the work. Once it gets past maybe like right here, I don't really want to keep working it. I'll pull it out anyway, because if you bring it against the current, that's not natural. So the fish will know that. You're giving it a bad presentation if you're going against the current. Hey, right on that beach lip. Let the water do the work for you. Dummy. There you go. Another one right on the edge. Man, destroy my gulp. All right, I'm gonna take one more cast. Take a nice long cast, and that'll do it for me. While I'm waiting for this doormat to strike, just want to say thanks for watching, and please subscribe. I was down for a couple days because I didn't have a phone, but I'm back, and I want to keep putting these videos out. This is just a little before work trip. I'm gonna try to get a bunch of these done, and I'm out here anyway. I fish before work, man, most days, so just gonna film it and put it out here. Hopefully people like watching it. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching.